What's going on, guys? BriarRabbit here. Today we're doing the rom-com. I've got my special guest and fiance, Jan, here.
Hi.
And we got some topics today, and it's been a while since we've done a rom-com, and we've got a lot to talk about. We had to actually pare down this list a little bit. We got, I think, 5 topics right now. We'll see how many of them we get to. The first one is we made a trip down to Philadelphia to buy wedding bands.
Yeah, it wasn't... We were just going to be looking at bands. I didn't realize we were actually purchasing them. And it happened to be on David's birthday.
Yeah, it was an expensive birthday for me.
It wasn't nice.
So we got the wedding... or when I bought engagement rings, we bought them down in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And we got them through somebody that my father knows personally. And she gave us a significant discount on the wedding bands this time. So we were down there, we decided to start looking, and I frankly was not thinking we're going to buy wedding bands today, right? I hadn't budgeted for it. I was not thinking about them. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know if Jan knew what she wanted. But we got there, and the discount was so big.
You had to.
You had to buy them, right? Like, we have to buy them right now to get this discount, and it was a big discount. I think it was like 30%, right?
Yeah.
Which, when you're talking about hundreds of dollars, I think we ended up paying $800 for, I think, what would have cost $1,200. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to budget right now because we're trying to pay for a wedding, and that $400 is a significant savings. That'll pay for the the band at the wedding
or the cake.
But Jesus Christ, it was so stressful. I remember watching Jan pick stuff out, right? And I didn't know what the prices of these things were. What was going through your mind while you were looking at these things? Did you know the prices while you were looking at them?
Well, okay, so I had researched ahead of time what the average wedding bands, the range of costs. So I had somewhat of an idea.
Something in hindsight I might have done too. Should have anyway.
I didn't want price to be a final factor in my decision, so I kind of withheld looking at the price tags.
Yeah, I agree with this because of all the things we're going to be buying for this wedding, and we're spending a lot of money on this wedding, there are basically 2 things that we get to take with us, and those are the wedding bands.
Yeah.
And frankly, you want to get something that you're going to like seeing on your finger for the rest of your freaking life, right? So I agree with this sentiment. However, the fact of the matter is that we're budgeted so tightly right now, and these things were so much money. So Jan was looking at these things, and to me, they don't look that impressive. Not compared to the huge diamond on her engagement ring. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, Jan's ring, $200-$300. My ring is just a piece of metal that wraps in a circle. Let's go with $50 and be done with it.
See, I had known yours was probably going to be $200-$300, and I figured mine might be around $500 or $600, and I was pretty close because mine was just a couple hundred over that.
Yeah, I think the price of it before the discount was $800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised by the fact that we were buying them right then and there.
Yeah, so
it wasn't.
I remember Jan had hers all picked out, and I didn't realize that there was a price tag right on the ring, but there was, and I caught a glimpse of it, and I almost passed out. And that is not a joke. How there's all these kind of memes about guys and weddings and how they're always cold feet and all that. I don't have cold feet. I'm totally ready to commit and be married. I have cold feet about paying for the wedding. That is the stuff that gives me, keeps me up at night. And when I saw that price tag, I was getting short of breath.
Yeah, he started sweating. I was a little worried.
So that's not the only wedding stuff we've done. We also researched wedding cakes a little bit and went to see the cupcake lady.
So we're trying to cut costs, obviously. And been researching cakes and going to different cakeries and bakeries. And a friend reached out to me and said that his wife owned a confectionery business.
Which is not really true.
No, but, would be more than willing to meet with us and have us try some of her things out. Now, I didn't know if we were going to go with a cake or a 3-tier or just a smaller cake and then do a cupcake tower because it's pretty hot right now. Then I was thinking cupcakes, you get more variety. You can please more people. They can take it home easily. So we went to her house. We thought we were going to a business, first of all.
Yeah, we went to her house, and upon walking in the door, right, the place is a goddamn mess. Like, it is, like, kind of, like, borderline, like, I don't want to eat anything that got made in here.
Yeah, especially since there was, like, a very suspicious
short
hair.
and curly.
There's a short and curly on the counter.
Yeah. And, like, it's like dogs barking, and nobody's, like, making an effort to shut this dog up. It's just like you're trying to have a conversation while this dog is barking as loud as it can at you. We tried the cupcakes, right? I couldn't get the taste of Crisco out of my mouth for like 2 hours. It was disgusting.
Her chocolate fudge cupcake was pretty good. I liked it. It's better than anything I could have made, but these are made from scratch.
Yeah.
Her frosting wasn't too, great, but I almost feel obligated to almost order cupcakes from her because she did this for us.
I do not feel that obligation whatsoever. She made poor cupcakes. She made a bad impression on me in general. I don't want to give this lady a dime. I feel like she wasted my time. I feel like she owes me money.
Okay.
I'm a busy guy. I don't need to be running all around tasting shitty cupcakes.
So, in other wedding news...
This is all we think about
I
now.
know, really.
Hold on, I gotta tell this. We went out to dinner last weekend on a Friday night. And we said, like, early on in the dinner, let's not talk about the wedding or any of that stuff. Just to keep it off our minds, just for one night.
Yeah.
And then we sat there in silence for 10 minutes because neither one of us has thought about anything but the wedding in like 2 months. So we just had nothing to talk about.
Oh, it was hard. And then, we just been getting kind of snippy a little bit.
Yeah. Not me, her, mostly.
So I went to take care of the rehearsal dinner today because it has to get done, and I went to leave a deposit, which was only $100, which was great. $100 deposit, but the woman put my debit card through as $1,000.
$1,000.
So
I don't know if we've mentioned this, but we're actually trying to save money here.
Yeah.
The budget is tight for the wedding.
So it went through, and then she quickly deleted it, gave me both receipts, and said, I'm sorry, I put the $100 through afterward, it's fine.
So now she has $1,100 of your money.
So I called the bank, and they said, oh, well, yeah, it'll go through in a couple days, and then an additional 5 days before it gets returned to you. I'm sorry, I want that money now.
Yeah.
I'm not 7 days from now.
But they gave you a solution. You could go back in, they faxed like a copy of the receipt and like an explanation.
Yeah.
So hopefully that goes through. But what it kind of reminds me of, and I'm probably more guilty of this than you are, is that I use my debit card far too much. It's a very dangerous thing to like hand a debit card, especially when you're at like a restaurant, because that debit card then disappears. That waitress could, put that down somewhere. Somebody could just come by, write down your number, your expiration date, and your security code, and then any charges that person puts on your card, they're taking money out of your account. It's different than with a credit card where, they're charging something to your credit card, but you don't pay that bill, so that money is still yours. With a debit card, that money is gone. And you actually had a problem with that right when I met you, is somebody had used your card.
Somebody hacked my account and cleaned me out right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas, which, that's an awful thing.
Yeah.
That person should be... So, Janie, you got a little back fat issue, huh?
So, I've lost 20 pounds in almost 3 months.
Yeah.
And I went for...
I think I found them.
So I went for my bridal gown fitting, and it fit like a glove. It was perfect. No alterations are needed.
That's perfect.
And the little old lady, all, arthritic and
a
gray,
seamstress all her life.
Seamstress her whole life. she's looking at it. Very nice, very nice. Well, you could probably lose some back fat. Well, thanks for stating the obvious, bitch.
Thanks for the info.
Oh my God. So now I got to work on my target area.
Your target area being your back. How do you lose specifically?
I mean, are there crunches you can do somehow? Or...
do reverse crunches.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my back fat issue.
All right. So every week that we actually get a rom-com going.
Sorry.
Jan comes up with some kind of impossible question for me. And what is this week's question?
Okay, so you hear about this in the news every now and then. Especially with the way technology and advances in science and medicine are coming. So, here's a scenario. You and I decide to go for in vitro fertilization or embryo transfer, whatever, to have a child.
Those were a lot of big words.
Yeah, so science gets involved. We end up pregnant and we have
a baby. We both do?
Yeah, because you're in it with me.
The miracles of science these days.
So we go through the pregnancy, have a baby, delivery. This baby never leaves our eyes. We see it from the moment it's born. It comes home with us. We raise it. 18 months later, the hospital contacts us and says, there was a mistake at the fertility clinic.
Yeah.
You have somebody else's embryo.
No. Oh.
Yeah, so... and they want their real baby back. So, do you do an exchange program? This child you
they have my baby?
They have your real baby.
Well, since I'm not actually attached to this baby while I'm answering this question, seems like a simple swap. I want my baby, you can have your baby. Yeah. However, once you're in that situation, I'm expecting there might be feelings involved.
Yeah. Or if even they didn't give birth, like they just had their embryo froze cryo.
Oh, so I don't even get a baby?
So you don't even get a baby back. Oh. You just got to give them theirs. And yours is still in storage in some freezer.
You got to give the baby back. You have to. It's their baby.
But this baby calls you daddy. And
yeah, I understand, but you got to give him back. Got to give him back.
You got to?
Gotta.
Oh my God. I don't know if I could do that.
You have to. You don't have a choice.
You carry
this baby. You can sue the shit out of the hospital.
But still.
But you got to give that baby back. That's somebody else's baby.
Okay, so what about if we had embryos that we had them freeze and hold on to for a year until we're ready financially. In the meantime, they take one of those, implant it, some woman gives birth, and then we find out, whoops, they implanted it in some woman. She's had her baby for almost 2 years. Yeah, I'd want that kid.
You'd want your baby back?
I'd want that baby.
I kind of think of it like renting my house, right? So I own a house, and there's people living in it, and I kind of think of it as those people are building equity for me. They're literally putting money into a savings account that I'm going to be able to withdraw out of later. That's kind of how I see this baby. Somebody else is raising my kid, and that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but what if they're not? What if they're not outstanding people?
Well, I'm pretty average.
What if they're drug addicts and they live in a crack house? Okay, yeah, they wouldn't be able to afford embryo transfer. But just saying, like, what if it just wasn't a good situation?
How would I even know that?
I don't know.
If it wasn't a good situation, I suppose that I would try and get the baby out of there. Because it is my blood, so I would feel some sort of responsibility to it. However, just on the face of it, like, put all that stuff behind it. If the hospital had made a mistake and given away, our stuff, I don't know. I mean, yeah, like, these people needed a baby, and we were part of the system that gave them a baby.
Okay.
That sounds good to me. That seems like a win for everybody. I don't see a problem with that, frankly. I mean, obviously the hospital made a huge mistake, but people, maybe it's different for guys because people are sperm donors all the time. Like, that's a thing.
I think it's different for guys than it is for women because
we keep making sperm. Women are born with a certain amount of eggs, and that's all they got.
Yeah. And I mean, we carry the child. We're very attached to it. There's a maternal connection there. I don't know. I guess I'm just imagining a little Lucas or Garrett being raised by someone else.
Yeah. And
that just is hard for me. But I just thought I'd pick your brain on that one. Because you hear about it in the news every now and then.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if somebody... I don't think I'd ask for the baby back. Mm-hmm. Unless I found out that the baby was in danger somehow. But no, I mean, that's remote.
Okay. So no embryo transfer for us.
Okay. I think that's going to wrap it up this week. What do you think?
That's a wrap.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time. We're going to try and do these every week on Monday, which means that the video probably wouldn't get posted till like Tuesday. Yeah. But we're going to try and be more regular about these. Hopefully you guys like them. Let us know down in the comments. What would you do with your embryo baby? And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. That's a shit-eating grin.
What's going on, guys?